Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Can Mayonnaise Killer Jedi podcast. I am your host, the Artificial Dragon.
I'm your co-host, Darth Salim.
And welcome to episode 78 of the podcast, everybody. At the time of his recording, we are 3 weeks away from Christmas. Yeah. We're getting up there in the second to last holiday of this year. The last one will be New Year's Eve. I'm really looking forward to Christmas. I've already got my decorations up and everything, but before I prattle on, I'm going to do the obligatory Patreon stuff, get that out of the way. If you guys love our content, we have a Patreon at patreon.com/canmail. Once again, that's patreon.com/canmail. You could contribute to any amount, the lowest being $2 and the highest being $10. We have a Discord server. You do not need to contribute to the Patreon to have access to it, but if you do contribute to our mid to highest tier, you will have exclusive voting rights for future Patreon episodes. We already did a voting session like a week ago.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah. And we are very excited for this certain character. We're not going to tell you who it is just yet. No spoilers, but it will be our Christmas episode. It will be kind of appropriate because this guy's a little bit of a Scrooge in more ways than one. A little bit of a Scrooge, but support us. We always do appreciate the support, and for today till the 25th, which is Christmas Day, we do have a exclusive discount for first-time Patreon members. If you are interested in trying out our Patreon for a month, the discount code is Life Day. It's all caps, one word. Put that in when you go to the Patreon. It gives you 50% off on all of the tiers, which means if you go to the lowest one, which is $2, it will be $1 for your very first month.
Not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal indeed. And it is limited up till Christmas Day, so get them while you can. And once again, last month's Patreon art piece is the lovely Imperial Officer, who really needs a new pair of bras.
A pair of bras? Bras come in pairs.
Alright, she needs a new bra.
She needs a new bra.
But that aside, I am really looking forward to this month's Patreon art piece. It's gonna be so good and spicy. Yeah, it's gonna be very, very spicy.
I'm excited.
And it'll be a certain. I'm gonna leave the name of the species out of it, but you know very well what it is.
I don't remember telling me.
I shared the sketches in the Discord. But anyway, we always appreciate the support from everybody, and once again, thank you for all of the support, and I'm going to do a shout out to all of our consulars. We have Alan Lee, Y Wolves, Dr. Emboss, Gomez, Lee Fott, Milo, Trainboy17, and Tristan H. Thank you, everybody, so much for contributing and supporting us for the 3 years of this podcast. And I am looking forward to providing more exclusive content and episodes in the future.
Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Yes, the art piece is going to be very...
It is going to be smoking. And Hannah.
Sports Lean's Cantina.
Yeah, you've been, kind of suffering a writer's block, but you have answered my most recent question on a certain Kreia.
Don't spoil it. Go check it out for yourself.
But yes, make sure to support Celine's Cantina. It's been, real life stuff aside. My co-host always needs some ideas to get off of her writer's block, which is always appreciated.
It's not just off the writer's block, it's moving it out of the way.
Yeah.
It's not being able to write at all.
That's fair, yeah.
So, yeah.
But anywho, Hannah, what is today's episode?
We're talking about Zabrak.
Yay, Zabrak, the horny, not of a way that you're thinking. The horned humanoid race of the Star Wars universe. Hey, they are horny, but not of a way that we're thinking.
Horn.
I mean, even Hondo Onaka, when he was talking about Maul and Savage, who are these horny-headed men? They're not like normal Jedi.
Kid show, everybody.
Yes, just a clear reminder, the numerous decapitations in the entirety of the Clone Wars, still a kid show.
Yes, Ahsoka decapitated 4 Mandalorians.
And Savage Oprez decapitated the entire Black Sun Council.
Anyway, Zabraks.
Yes, the Zabraks. Arguably right next to the Twi'lek and the Togruta, I think the Zabraks, or Zabrak, however you want to pronounce them, I've heard multiple pronunciations. The Zabrak are probably one of the most popular near-human race in all of Star Wars.
Yes, they are.
Along with motherfucking Chiss.
Chiss are iffy.
They're kind of
They
iffy.
remain in the ascendancy of wild space.
And of course...
But Twi'leks to Togruta are kind of widespread, but
yeah.
Twi'leks and Twi'leks, humans, or Zabraks, and Duros. So
yeah.
Like species.
Yeah.
Galaxy.
Yeah, at least the Duros are more alien in comparison to the Zabrak, which are basically humans with spikes coming out of their heads.
Yeah.
But that aside, let me go ahead and give you, there's not too many quotes out there on the Zabrak, unfortunately, but I thought this would be a good explanation of the Zabrak in general.
Okay.
This is an exchange between Darth Vader and Koth. Fear, anger, resentment, I sense them in you. You have let yourself feel, Koth. Perhaps it's the Zabrak in me. Okay, so I know it sounds very vague, but basically...
It's very vague.
It is very vague. But generally, the Zabrak are kind of... I guess it's more accurate to call it a stereotype, but the Zabrak are much more passionate with their emotions. They're a lot more aggressive with how they go about with their purpose in the galaxy.
Perfect example of that is Beoder.
Yeah. So glad you mentioned him, because I will definitely throw him in at the end of the episode.
Yes, Beoder, my favorite Zabrak boy.
Yeah. But yeah, let me... Like I said, it's not the greatest quote in the world, but I thought I'd throw that out for you.
Okay.
But anyway, the Zabrak, also sometimes referred to as the Iridonians, are a near-human race native to, well, Iridonia, their homeworld.
In KOTOR, they don't call Beoder a Zabrak. He's an Iridonian.
Yeah. This is one of the things that always...
They don't call him by his name either. They say Iridonian. It's like, he has a fucking name.
This is one of the most confusing things I ever did when I was researching the Zabrak. On Wikipedia, which is where I get most of my sources,
That's where everybody gets their sources.
Yeah, pretty much. There's 2 separate articles. There's the Zabrak, and then there's the Iridonians. They treat them like 2 completely different things, which in this case it's not.
They're the same goddamn thing.
I know, but they kind of just split it up as if they're separate things.
I mean, even when, and I just realized this, I found out that you can Jedify you can get 6 Jedis in your party with KOTOR 2 if you influence every. But if you make Beoder a Jedi and then go dark side, he can get Maul tattoos.
Ah, okay.
His like face outlines go black and he gets Sith eyes. He looks like Maul.
Yeah.
It's like
That's not how that works.
that's how it works.
Well, the most important detail, Hannah, is that he's evil now.
Dependent on choice.
Yeah, dependent on choice, of course. But yeah, just want to throw that little trinket out there, even though
Dumb.
it's kind of dumb, yes. But yeah, let me go ahead and return back to what I was saying before. Iridonia is located in the mid-rim region of space. Iridonia is known as a harsh world with acid pools and seas. Yeah, so yeah, their literal water source is just acid. That tells you a lot about the Zabrak as a species. Mm-hmm. Along with that, they have windy canyons and, fortunately, farmable land. I'm not sure how they're able to farm it when water is acid, but who the fuck cares? The most famous form of wildlife on Iridonia is the Iridonian subspecies of Varric, which is the rhinoceros-like creature from Attack of the Clones. Yeah. The government of Iridonia is classified as a dictatorship, and one of its well-known exports is Yaurak, which is an addictive spice and hallucinogen.
Oh, great.
Yay!
Or Ryloth.
Well, fortunately, Yaurak is commonly used to help prepare warriors before battle. Yaurak is known... Yeah.
It's like when they gave the German soldiers
cocainum. Yes, Iridonia has cocaine, Hannah. But the point is, Yaurak is known to install an individual with a clear vision of the meaning of life, which is to either kill or be killed, boosting their confidence temporarily. Yeah, so okay. I know we joked about it being cocaine earlier, but I suppose, I don't know, it could be like crap.
Don't compare it to any real life drugs because you know nothing about them.
Yeah, that's fair. I was thinking of a particular drug, but no, I'm going to leave that be. But yes, their major export is drugs, Hannah, and also the Zabrak themselves. Drugs.
That makes sense. Zabraks could be slaves.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, as I mentioned before, the Zabrak are classified as a near-human race, but they have obvious characteristics that sets them apart from normal humans.
Gee, no shit.
The most obvious part is their vestigial horns, which could be found in both males and females. According to legends, these horns appeared during puberty, but in canon, all Zabrak seem to be born with these horns.
Kind of like the the half dragon thing.
Yeah.
Where you were like, wouldn't those horns hurt coming out? They're probably squishy.
Yeah, that is fair.
And nuts.
Good thing that it's a good thing that you point out the Dragonborn from D&D, because they have
Dragon.
Well, the half dragon too, but the Zabrak they seem to have similar characteristics, at least culturally, with the Dragonborn from D&D, because they want to be the best at their jobs, no matter what, that sort of thing. But I'll get to that when we talk about the culture of the Zabrak. Regardless of either, these horns can be grown in various patterns found in the numerous subspecies of a Zabrak race. The Zabrak live around the same age as humans. Like, their maximum lifespan is 80 years.
Yeah.
Which is fairly average, but they come in numerous skin colors such as black, brown, orange, pale, peachy white, red, tan, and yellow. Yeah.
We're gonna get into a continuity argument here.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, but the colors many Zabrak possess are orange and bright yellow. And like humans, they are divided into distinctive cultural groups. The main Zabrak from Iridonia have horns that are stumped and are the closest in resemblance to humans, with a hair color of blonde, brown, and black.
Yeah, they're like when you pick a Jedi Zabrak on they're Iridonian Zabrak. They
Yeah.
have like the brown and creamy like you can't make a mall copy with the light side.
Yeah.
To do the Iridonian.
Yeah.
Their horns are nubby.
They are very nubby, yeah.
They're not, like pointed.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you some Zabrak individuals, some with stumpy horns and some with sharp horns.
They're just nubs.
Yeah. And the second group had sharper and more jagged horns. Their hair color ranged from bright red to black.
Okay.
And these could be the subspecies commonly found on Dathomir, for example.
The Dathomir.
Yep.
Because I wanted to specify there are 2 different subspecies of Zabrak.
And technically, but there could be many more subspecies of Zabrak. We just don't know too much details about them because
Again, it's not expanded.
unfortunately. But during the Great Galactic War, these 2 groups were divided between the territories of the Galactic Republic and the Sith Empire, just like you mentioned before.
Yeah.
And of course, aside from the vestigial horns, the Zabrak possessed 2 hearts, which gave them a higher pain tolerance than other near-human races in the galaxy.
An awesome backup for when you go down in D&D.
Yes, in Star Wars 5e, they have the second heart ability, which if you go down, it immediately puts you back up at 1 HP.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah, I know. I knew an old player that played with us in the Star Wars Alternate campaign, and they played as a Zabrak named Cadaver, and that was very useful when they went down multiple times.
Yeah, Zabraks are cool. Even though they're near human, they still have the quirks of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it also, with their 2 hearts, it makes them a lot more durable. As we saw with Darth Maul, he took a huge beating in multiple fights, and he gets right back up.
But he's also fueled with pure rage.
That is true. He got motherfucking cut in half, and he still lived, barely. Almost all Zabrak are covered in ritual tattoos, which could symbolize many things, such as a family lineage, place of birth, or even a design that reflects their personality. Yes, it is, because all the Dathomirian Zabraks, the males anyway, are slaves.
Yes. Get slave tattoos.
Yay. Yay. And just like the Twi'lek, the Zabrak are, as we saw with Dathomir, the Zabrak are capable of breeding with humans, which gave rise to the Dathomirians through the mating of Zabrak prisoners and the witches of Dathomir.
Yeah. I like to think that the, at least, Zabrak, like Night Sisters and stuff, and Eric had this idea too, is that they may not have horns, but if you feel their skull, they have the divots where they would be.
Yeah, I could see that too.
The vestigial, kind of like how we still have tails.
Yeah, in lore, it's basically canonically accurate that Asajj Ventress, Mother Talzin, and all the other Night Sister characters, they're all Zabraks.
They just don't look like it. But,
yeah.
But in Fanon, they got the bump or the divots in their head.
Yeah.
Ones would have been.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense, Hannah. And like you said before, Fanon is always better than the canon.
I like it because it's just that little bit of sexual dimorphism.
Just a little bit, yeah.
It makes it unique. It's just so the Night Sisters don't look like humans.
Yeah, at least it's a lot more subtle compared to the Deveronians.
Yes.
But yes, culturally, the Zabrak as a race are viewed by many as single-minded and independent, commonly taking roles in society that minimize their need to be ordered around by others, which is not something you see with the Dathomirian Zabraks.
No, absolutely not. Iridonians, it's different. Like, Beodur was a tech in the
for Republic military, yeah.
The Republic military.
Yeah. This can be easily seen by outsiders as arrogance or aloofness, but it is more accurate to say that the Zabrak have a strong sense of self-assuredness and confidence that they can accomplish any task that is put before them. Each Zabrak isn't the same, however, as we see with humans and a couple of other races, or more specifically, in the Star Wars 5e, under each races, they commonly go with this alignment, but it could depend.
There's always an outlier.
Yeah, there is always an outlier. Same thing with the Zabrak, too.
That's with any species in the galaxy.
Yeah, that is true.
Same thing with the fucking Verpine.
Yeah. But yeah, however, the Zabrak are a colonial race, as they have migrated and adapted to many worlds colonized by their race, or simply emigrated to other worlds like Coruscant or other worlds of the Republic, for example.
They're very widespread.
Pretty much like humans and Twi'leks, yes, they are fucking everywhere.
Yep.
It was still not uncommon to see Zabrak being competitive with Zabrak from other colonies. Still, it wasn't seen as a negative, as they believe that the various experiences of these different colonies added to the race's overall value in the galaxy.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, this is what I want expanded upon. I want to see this kind of shit.
Yeah. The Zabrak from their homeworld of Iridonia are considered more warlike than Zabrak from other colonies.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Bring them to death.
Well, okay, yeah, it is very ironic. They're slaves on Dathomir, but they are more
slaves and warriors.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Well, at least they have that common trait.
Yeah, true.
Usually they have a bloodthirsty reputation to the point that, according to rumor, they would continue to attack a corpse even after the target has died. They're that ruthless.
That kind of tracks with Bale.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep talking about it. I'm spoiling it for you.
It's completely fine, Hannah.
But there's this interaction that you have with him where he talks about the war with the exile and says, I couldn't detach myself, bloodthirsty, have revenge.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
Hey, as the saying goes, war brings out the worst in people.
Well, yeah, he also cut off his arm.
Yeah, he's got that weird cybernetic arm, yeah.
It's cool, though.
It is pretty cool, yeah. Iridonians have been trained from a young age in a highly physical style of martial arts, and it isn't uncommon for them to be proclaimed as the best hand-to-hand fighters and weaponsmiths in the galaxy.
Yep.
Like, one of their... they make a bunch of blasters, but one of their most iconic weapons is the Zabrak, which is that double-edged sword staff.
I just call it a vibroblade.
Which, if it's very obvious in the picture there, is the inspiration for Darth Maul's double-bladed saber staff.
Yeah, but I just call it a double-bladed sword.
Yeah, that is fair. These Zabrak are seen as the ancient rivals of the Achani and Mandalorian cultures.
Gee, no wonder. As soon as you bring Mandalore on your ship, Bayoner's like, why do we have a Mandalorian on the ship?
Yeah, but Zabrak have a long-ass history with the Mandalorians, if it wasn't obvious. Even having I already mentioned that. Most Zabrak that are bounty hunters and Jedi commonly hail from Iridonia. Zabrak from colony worlds are just as driven as their homeworld cousins, but encourage their children to express it in other ways. It wouldn't be a surprise to find a Zabrak in other fields, ranging from medicine to entertainment. So it's mainly the Iridonian Zabrak that are the warrior class.
Yeah.
I mean, minus Dathomir, but that's a whole other thing.
Dathomir is its own nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much. Let me see.
I know we talk about Dathomir a lot, but it holds a special place.
Oh yeah. This podcast loves the Dathomirians and the Night Sisters.
Absolutely.
Heck, we have 3 separate Patreon art pieces of the Witches of Dathomir.
And 2 videos talking about
That is very true. Well, technically 3, since Maul is the child of Dathomir.
Technically.
But anyway, and the Zabrak language is what is called Zabraki.
Yeah.
We don't know too much about it. We do have a couple of inserts of the example of Zabraki, such as Kaz, meaning clever in Zabraki. Uak means brave. Nowadays, though, most Zabrak commonly speak both common.
Speak basic.
Yeah, they speak basic. A little bit of Zabrak, but mostly basic.
KOTOR and KOTOR 2 are both 1 and 2 so much. I picked up a few Huddies words.
Kipun. But sometimes most Zabrak commonly take their names from animals native to their world of Iridonia, such as Boak, Biak, Lok, and Zur.
Let me see those, please.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and message them to you. There you go.
Book,
Book.
Biak, Lok, and Zur. That's a lot of, like...
I know.
Okay.
But, yeah, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about their history, Hannah, which is pretty basic for all intents and purposes, but it's pretty lengthy. If you remember this from the Inquisitor storyline, the Zabrak are one of the races created by...
The Mother Machine.
Yay, the Mother Machine of Veracata, along with the Twi'lek and what was the third race?
The Twi'lek and...
The Ishka?
No, not the... Shit.
Well, anyway, they created the Twi'leks and the Zabrak, which if you really think about it, does make sense because both of those guys can interbreed with humans. So,
Miriolans.
I'll believe you on that.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
Watch me put the actual race in there post-editing. But anyway, but yeah, the Zabrak are a artificially created race, mainly created so Veracata can find out why they are losing their connection to the Force.
And slaves.
Yay, slaves! Always a good reason to create life. The Zabrak, after being artificially created, the Zabrak are known as one of the earliest spacefaring races that established many colonies outside of their home system, such as Irida, and a couple of others. It is also theorized by xenoarchaeologists that the Elam, Elamin, thank you. Probably a race that you are very familiar with from the Thrawn trilogy. So, that one scene where Thrawn uses the Mark Sable maneuver because one of the commanders of the New Republic was part of that race.
Oh, right.
Because they are so used to order that they can't work with a Mark Sable maneuver. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are those guys, and I'll send you a picture of what they look like. And you could see the resemblance with the Zabrak if I could find them. There we go.
They're a lot creepier than the
But you can see the common...
freaky.
Yeah, they look pretty freaky. I'm sure we'll talk about these guys one day, but they love order to such a high degree. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very much theorized by xenobiologists that they are related to those guys, that they're a lost Zabrak colony. They are so successful that when the Galactic Republic made first contact with the Zabrak, they had a total of 8 colonies and 5 systems.
Okay.
Which is not as big as the Chiss Ascendancy, which is like 22 worlds or something.
They have a shit ton.
But still pretty goddamn impressive.
Yeah.
And let's see, Iridonia is also the site of numerous battles within the numerous wars, such as the Old Sith Wars and, more importantly, the Mandalorian Wars.
Yep.
The Zabrak were enslaved by the Neo-Crusaders at the start of the Mandalorian Wars.
Who did the Neo-Crusaders enslave?
They enslaved a lot of people. It's not even funny at this point.
Dude, just random question. Have we talked about the Mandalorian Wars yet?
No, we have not.
I wouldn't mind talking about those.
Not the Mandalorians, but the Mandalorian Wars definitely.
Yes. That's what I mean. The wars, not the Mandalorians themselves.
That would be a very fun topic to cover one of these days, because it is a very important part of Star Wars history.
Yes.
Well, legends anyway. It's a stumbled upon a little bit in the canon, but Legends is more in depth as usual.
Well, always. Canon is.
You know, that reminds me. I heard Skeleton Crew has been getting good reviews recently.
It's got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I might check it out.
Yeah, I might check it out too. I might actually resubscribe to Disney Plus.
You can use my subscription.
Anyway. But yeah, after losing their many colony worlds, many Iridonians sought revenge against their oppressors by joining the Republic military, which was the start of the bloody rivalry between the Mandalorians and the Zabrak. Of course, as with every race that the Mandalorians accept, there are Zabrak among the ranks of the Mandalorians, but the Zabrak fucking hate the Mandalorians with a passion.
Again, as soon as you bring Mandalore from Duxon onto the Ebon Hawk, Powder is like, why is there a Mandalorian on the ship?
Put in the classic meme, I don't trust you. I'm keeping a fucking eye on you.
Yep, and he says, if he tries anything, I'll throw him out the airlock.
You know, that reminds me so much of a motherfucking Mass Effect character whose common line is, throw it out the airlock. Then fast forwarding a little bit, when the Sith Empire, specifically Vitiate Sith Empire, established Dromund Kaas
the best Sith Empire.
Yeah. Expanded their territory, their scouts discovered many isolated colonies of Zabrak subspecies that had an evolved culture and traditions, and it was the red-skinned and orange-skinned Zabrak from the SWTOR customization thing.
Not technically Dathomirians, but fanonly, in my headcanon, they took slaves from Dathomir.
Yeah, headcanon, yeah. And of course, Sith being Sith, they saw them as valuable slaves.
Yes.
Okay. During the establishment of a galactic empire, the Zabrak resisted imperial occupation due to their strong-willed nature, despite the empire occupying literally all of their worlds and placing a shit ton of stormtroopers on their worlds and basically taxing them to the brink of poverty.
Oof.
Yeah. Despite that, the Zabrak were like, fuck you, Empire, we're gonna join a bunch of resistance movements like the Rebel Alliance. Mm-hmm. And then after the Battle of Endor, the Zabrak were able to reunite as a whole race, and they became the newest allies of a new republic, claiming that they don't want to be oppressed by the Empire or anybody like them ever again.
Good.
Very ironic, considering that there's probably still a bunch of Zabrak on Dathomir right now.
Yeah, probably.
But that's a little bit of a crash course on Zabraki history. Very, very basic, as I pointed out numerous times before.
Yes.
But they are very obviously a very strong-willed people. But let's go to the most exciting part about Species videos and talk about some of their members.
Yay!
So, as I mentioned before, there are a shit ton of Zabrak in numerous fields. Like, we got mercenaries, politicians, Jedi, Sith, so on and so forth, Mandalorians, the whole shebang. And among the most notable members, on the Jedi side anyway, we got the obvious Eve Koff. We gotta have an entire episode on him one of these days because he's such a fascinating character. But let me go ahead and go down the list. There we go. All the Jedi members of the Zabrak anyway. The most notable and funny ones.
Okay.
We got Eve Koff, Agent Kolar, which if I'm going to be completely honest, looks very similar to Eve Koff.
Yeah.
There's Draka Jandaro, who is the female Zabrak, the third one. Okay. She is one of the survivors of Order 66. Kyle Sendarach.
No, Cow Sendarach. Cow Sendarach.
No, it's pronounced as Kyle Sendarach.
No, it's not.
I will literally pull up videos of YouTubers saying his name as such.
Anyway, Beodar!
And then after Darach, we have Beldar. Beodar. Maris Brood, Zyson Zabak, Kaz Todd, Wolf Zazen, and Garfield.
It looks like you took a goblin, spray painted him red, and gave him porcupine spikes.
All of them are Jedi, or at least former Jedi.
He doesn't look like a fucking Jedi.
But no,
And Bayodur is potentially a Jedi.
Potentially a Jedi. He was part of the Exiles Jedi army.
Yeah, but he was a technician. He wasn't a Jedi.
And
you can make him a Jedi.
Yeah.
But that's only if you gain enough influence.
That is fair.
I still have yet to make him a Jedi.
Also, Wolf Sazin, who is the second to last one. I've noticed a lot of Zabrak are very influential. Well, aside from Darth Maul and Savage Opress and all that, a lot of them are very pivotal characters. Like Kyle Sendarach is the master of Satil Shan, who becomes a Grand Master of the Jedi Order. And Wolf Sazin, he is the master of one of Luke's descendants, Cade Skywalker.
Oh, cool.
So he's kind of a badass character. One of these days we'll talk about him more in depth. And of course we got several Darksiders that I'll put in here real quick. Some of them you might recognize. Some of them are new faces.
I think I'm going to recognize a good amount of them.
Obviously. There we go. Going down the list.
Darth Hexid!
Yeah, Darth Hexid. We got Darth Maul, Darth Hexid, Darth Semi, Darth Tigran, Kern, Roar, Cadron Say, Michelle, and Savage Opress.
There's some weird looking... A lot of these guys just look weird.
Yeah.
Darth Hexid. I love Darth Hexid. I still need to get her as a companion.
Yeah.
But I fucking hate war zones.
The one after Dark Hexid kind of looks pretty cool. Like Darth Simi. He's got the two double-bladed lightsaber. Yeah, she's got the two double-bladed.
Obviously, it's a she.
But no, there's a lot of interesting designs. And of course...
I love the way her tattoos look.
Oh, yeah. She's got some very interesting tattoo patterns there. And of course, we got a bunch of Darth Maul clones. There's Kern and Roar, who are dark acolytes from Dooku's side of things.
Okay.
Cadron Say is another female Zabrak that's part of Dooku's dark acolytes.
Okay.
Former Jedi, turned to the Confederacy of Independent System because she grew disillusioned with the Jedi Order and all that.
What about this dude at the end?
The dude at the end, Michelle, he is the Zabrak leader of the Sith Shadows, who are basically a crime organization that goes and abducts a bunch of Dathomirian villagers in the Star Wars galaxies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, about Darth Hexid, she's a Dark Council member who is absolutely never talked about. Because all she does is sit on the sidelines.
She just looks badass.
No, with wine in her hand and just laughs.
Okay, that's
She's
actually
almost
pretty
like
cool.
Valron, a female Valron, and I love her. I just need to get her as a companion.
Yeah, she actually does look pretty cool, Darth Hexid.
I love the way she looks.
Yeah. And then, of course, we got a couple of interesting Zabrak bounty hunter characters. I'll share them with you in a little bit. I'll list off their names. Yeah. Of course, we got the amazing bounty hunter character, Suki, at the very top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she is kind of a badass. If you remember from the Hondo Onaka episode, she's the bounty hunter that was hired by a bunch of villagers to protect them from Hondo and his pirates.
Haven't seen that episode, so...
Well, basically, she is a moral bounty hunter. She doesn't want to harm any innocent people, and because of this, she puts herself in a lot of debt because she's not taking a lot of jobs that are high paying. She takes the jobs that require less killing of innocents.
Okay.
So she's kind of a very interesting character. And then under Sugi is her niece, Jess Emery, who is a major Zabrak bounty hunter character in the canonized Aftermath trilogy.
Okay.
So basically, her entire story, from what I remember at the top of my head, is that she was encouraged by Sugi to go the life of bounty hunting, and she was trained by Sugi herself. But she's all like, yeah, I love you, Aunt Sugi, but you put yourself in debt, and now you put that debt on me. Why? Why do you have to go along the lines of a moral bounty hunter? We need money. But anyway, and then after her is Odon Anak, Rela Jansari, Akavi Spar, if you remember her.
I was gonna say, that's a different fucking skin, because that does not look like a Kavi Spar.
And then another Zabrak bounty hunter from Sator is Bolga the Crude. And last but not least is Nox, who is a Zabrak character you could play in that Star Wars game.
Oh, Star Wars Hunters.
There we go, Star Wars Hunters.
That's
yes.
cool.
She's got a pretty cool design.
No, that's a Kavi. That's the picture you chose for a Kavi?
No, that is Bolga the Crude.
Oh. You didn't even include a picture of a Kavi.
I thought I did.
No.
No. Well, anyway, Akavi Spar is one of those individuals who's a Mandalorian. Technically not a mercenary, but...
She's my smuggler's best friend.
Yeah, she's your smuggler's best friend. But... And more interestingly, I'm going to share these last couple of Zabrak.
These are like miscellaneous.
Kind of miscellaneous. They kind of have weird names, which doesn't go into the convention of Zabrak names. Well, aside from Garfield, that guy. These guys are actually members of the Galactic Empire, and the last one is a significant captain of the Sith Empire.
These first two are fucking ugly.
Yeah, I know. The first guy is what is called Darkstone. He is a colonel in the Imperial military. And then the second guy...
Edgy motherfucker.
And then the second guy is Krieg, who is a fleet admiral.
Okay.
And the female, the third one, is Roth, who is a captain in the Imperial fleet.
She looks weird as fuck, too.
Yeah. And then the last one is Vandrol, who is the captain of the Star Destroyer, the Executioner.
Oh, yeah, she mans Mars flagship.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, even though it's kind of ironic because the Zabrak are oppressed by the Empire, yet there are still members of them within the Empire, as in very high military positions.
Hell, I mean, Asina, once Asina took the throne at the end of the Cold War, aliens made a very big contribution to the military.
Yep, I remember. I remember the marketing. There was a Twi'lek female captain on the Imperial side. I forget her name.
Major, actually.
Major, okay. Not quite Colonel.
Her name is Major Anri.
She is hot as fuck. Like, damn, I love a woman that could kick my ass.
And she can kick ass. She's a badass.
Yeah, she is. But yeah, as you saw from all the pictures there, the Zabrak can walk all forms of life, whether it's for the good of all or for their own selfishness.
Yeah.
Did I oh yeah, there was this one bounty hunter Zabrak that had a really cool armor from Star Wars Galaxies. Kind of a minor character, but they stood out to me because they had such badass armor. It's the green one, in case you're wondering.
Oh, that one?
Yep.
That doesn't even look like a Zabrak. What the fuck is that armor?
That is canonically a Zabrak, but I don't know. That armor looks pretty cool.
No, it doesn't. It looks weird.
But no, another correlation that I remembered when I was doing a quick Zabrak refresh. If you really look about it, the rivalry between the Zabrak and the Mandalorians, and then you look back to the Clone Wars when Darth Maul became the leader of Death Watch. It's literally their rivalry coming full circle.
Damn, you're right.
And it led to the near extinction of the Mandalorians as we know it in canon.
Yep.
So the Zabrak finally got the last laugh there.
Beodur's one with the Force, his Force goes just like, ha!
Ha! Suck it, Mandal, bitch!
Meanwhile, Mandalore Preserver, fuck you.
But no, I would personally love the Zabrak, aside from, I mean, they're kind of lazy in design-wise, but they introduce a lot of really cool characters. I can't stay mad at them. I know you'll probably peeve at me, but I swear to God, Kyle Sendaraj is an absolute badass.
Yes, he is. You have to be a badass when you train the future Grand Master of the Jedi Order.
You want to know what his rank was within the Jedi Order?
Wasn't he a knight?
Well, okay, yes, he was a knight, but more specifically, he is a battle master. It may not sound too prestigious, but basically it's the highest instructor within the Jedi Order. They know
That's
all
the title
forms.
the Jedi Knight gets.
Yeah. But a battle master, basically they know all the forms of lightsaber combat.
Yeah.
Which really shows, considering that he dual wielded a saber staff and a regular lightsaber at the same time.
Yes, and absolutely kicked Malchus's master's ass.
Which I found out later is named Darth Vindican.
Yes.
I guess he Vindicant.
That was a bad pun.
But no, I also remember a quote from Satio Shan talking about her master. She's all like, he was the one who pulled a lot of serious shit in the political climate of the Republic, and his punishment was going out to Korriban. But she also personally theorized that the reason why he went to Korriban was because he sensed the eventual return of the Sith, and he requested to be transferred there.
And he was right.
Yeah, he was right. The Zabrak are the motherfucking, they are stubborn and strong-headed as fuck, but goddamn, they are loyal.
Yeah, they are. It just sucks that Cousin Derek died to Malchus's hands.
He went out in a blaze of glory, though, let's be honest.
He did.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have on the Zabrak raise. Anything you want to contribute, Hannah?
I think I've already contributed my thoughts.
Okay, yeah, you've already simped enough on your Zabrak boyfriend from Culture 2.
He needs to be romanced. Someone make a mod where I can romance Bayoner. I need my strong, edgy himbo boyfriend, Zabrak.
Your edgy boyfriend.
He's edgy, but he's also a himbo. But he can also fix things really well.
The only thing he couldn't fix was himself.
True. Because he's still scarred from the war.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, that is our episode of Can Mayonnaise Kill a Jedi? Or in this case, Horny.
Why did I know you were going to say that?
But anyway, I hope you guys had fun with this episode. It's a little bit of a shorter one than usual, but the Zabrak, they're pretty self-explanatory. They're short and simple, but they are goddamn awesome.
Yes, they are. After that pun, I'm gonna go stab myself with my lightsaber.
But anyway, so yeah, the next episode, well, we're not quite on the Christmas episode just yet, but it will be an episode that you are looking forward to.
Do we announce it now or wait?
Up to you, Hannah. You're seriously thinking on this.
I am. Let's see. Actually, yeah. Let's leave it a surprise.
All right. We'll make it a surprise for everyone then.
Just know, I'm excited.
Yes, you are very excited since you pushed me to do this episode for a couple of weeks now.
Yes.
And I think it's high time we do it. Kind of a little bit of a Christmas present for you.
Yay.
Anyway, once again, hope you guys love that episode. Gonna leave a couple things. This is the way. May the force be with you. And
Damn, ask me while I'm taking a drink. Why don't you?
you could try the Civ version, you know?
Let the hate flow through you. Support my blog.
May the Schwartz be with you. Bye-bye.
Bye.